Yes, I can see you. I can see you very clear. So thank you so much for finding time to join this conversation. I know we had planned it before, but due to some circumstances, it didn't go through. So how's everything?
I'm very good. Very, very fine.
I'm glad to hear that.
How's Kenya?
Kenya is fine. Everything is fine despite the issue of political. We have issue of political temperatures between the president and the deputy. So that's the many thing that maybe is affecting. Also, the issue of COVID, the numbers are going high. The number of deaths, the number of infection, and also the maybe vaccination. The smaller number of people have been vaccinated. So it means the larger populations have not maybe secure the medication or maybe the vaccines. So that's the thing that is happening. And also we are also experiencing some human rights violations because people are being maybe killed by police brutality during curfew hours, and then minor things that are happening within the society. So I think we'll go straight to our conversation because we say that it's a conversation that we want to highlight what young people are doing during this crazy times of COVID-19 within their communities, within their networks. And so this is an opportunity for you now to introduce yourself, tell us about who you are, the country you're doing, the level of maybe academic experience. These are broad introduction that you also need to, people need to understand you better.
Okay, can I go ahead now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right. My name is Gideon Adeyeni. I'm calling in from Nigeria. From Ile-Ife specifically. Ile-Ife is an ancient town in Nigeria, in southwest Nigeria. It is the acclaimed origin of the Yoruba people. Yoruba is an ethnic group in Nigeria. And the Ile-Ife is the acclaimed origin of the Yoruba people. That's my own hometown, and that's where I'm based. That's where I'm speaking for right now. Actually, there is a little village in the suburb of Ile-Ife called Afeki, where I reside. And I should tell you that Nigeria has a population of 200 million, which is the highest in Africa. And then I think it is the fourth most populous country in the world after China, America, India. I think Nigeria is next. And in Nigeria, we have about 250 ethnic groups. I already mentioned the Yoruba. Yoruba is just one of the 250 ethnic groups that we have. The dominant ones are the popular ones, or most popular ones rather, the Yorubas, the Igbo, and the Hausas. And we also have some other ones like the Yorubos, the Jaws, and several others. So that's that about the geography and a bit of the sociology of Nigeria. About myself, last 2 weeks was my 30, was the last 2 weeks? My 31st birthday, remember? So in some way I'm still very young. And I think I should say that more often because, I was at an event and then I was speaking about the need for us to act for change. And then a young lady told me and said, well, your generation might be interested in that. My generation is interested in, and I was like, we are the same generation.
Yeah.
I'm not, I think she's in her early 20s. And then she was counting me as one of the older generation. I think I should say it more often that I'm still part of the younger generation. Not only like that, but I think more seriously, I think youthfulness is a thing of the heart. It's about the level of optimism that one carries. The hope that one can effect change the extent of dream that one still have, the passion, the drive. I think that's what characterizes youthfulness. And I must tell you that I feel like 16, honestly. So that's that about that's a bit okay about my academic background. I would speak basically on the scope of my academic and intellectual interest. Let me tell this story too again. During my secondary school days, I was just an average student. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the final year, we use our secondary school system here. We have 6 years to spend in the secondary school before you go to the university or polytechnic or whatever. So at the final year, I went for the graduation ceremony, and then a friend just said, "Oh, Gideon, you're happy. Your name is on the list of awardees." And I never received an award in my secondary school because I was just an average student and I was playful. So I was surprised. I didn't even have a copy of the brochure for the program. So I took it and I saw my name, and I was so happy. And I was given the best graduating student geography.
Yeah.
Best graduating student in geography. And then before then too, I realized that I've always loved geography. I love drawing the maps, I love reading the maps. So that was like a sign to me that you should do something around this. So I was looking for a course around that. And then that defined what I later studied in the university. I did something around the social sciences called geography and planning. It's a merger of urban and regional planning. Urban and regional planning is about allocating land uses and all of that. And then I merged it with geography. So that was how I came to study geography. And I think it's an opportunity studying the two courses. At my postgraduate level, I specialized in urban and regional planning. And I think it's an opportunity because it's a sort of multidisciplinary course. A bit of science, a bit of art, a bit of humanities, all merged together. And I think that has influenced my intellectual interest too. My intellectual interest, I think it spans all of these fields now. Sciences, I'm interested, arts. You've also seen a bit of my dance step.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in art. I think I like to sing too. So I'm interested in art. I'm interested in the sciences. I'm interested in the humanities. So I have a sort of intellectual interest that spans all of these 3 areas. So that's that about now. And I think that has also influenced my activism, and that I do say that my interest spans the entire development spectrum. When you talk about environmental justice, when you talk about economic justice, when you talk about economic political justice too, and what I call cultural justice too, I have interest in. When I see conversations in all of these areas, it captivates me. I'm just interested, and I'm interested in taking action on all of these aspects of development issues. So that's that about me. That's a bit, what else? I think that's all.
I think you have explained so much about yourself. People maybe they understand more about who's Gideon. But the issue that you've not talked about, that you're doing a PhD. You just said, postgraduate, blah, blah, blah. But I think you don't like to mention that. So basically, I know we served.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, we served in the same board of the African Rising. I just want to get your reflection, your experience, your network that you built during the 2-year term of service within the African Rising movement.
Oh, okay. I started volunteering with the Africa's Rising movement in 2016. I think around October. I saw the Kilimanjaro Declaration, which was produced after the Arusha conference. The Arusha conference was convened in August, I think 23 and 24th. and the conference produced the Kilimanjaro Declaration. So I saw the declaration, and it resonates highly with my own ideas and aspirations. And I was mobilizing. Interestingly, I was mobilizing a movement then. I was kind of naive, you know. I called it the African Liberation Movement. I didn't even know that the African Liberation Movement was like an encapsulating description for the liberation movement before now. So that was what we called it, because we didn't do much of research. We didn't know much about mobilizing, but we knew that we needed to mobilize because we were not satisfied with the state of things. And there is actually also another interesting story. You see, I'm telling too much story.
Yeah.
That led to us mobilizing. You know, then I was at the university for postgraduate studies then, and then usually we'll get together and we'll discuss about the state of the country, of the world generally. And one day somebody asked me, "So Gideon, what are you doing? You just come here and you guys just talk and you lament, you agonize." And then I said, "Well, I'm rehearsing, I'm preparing myself." But you know, as I left the conversation and I was going to my room and I asked myself, "Gideon, what are you doing?" And I realized that I was just agonizing and enjoying my lamentation. And then incidentally, the following morning, a friend he traveled down to the university and then he met me. It was very furious. It was like, Gideon, we need to do something. If you see what I saw on my way, police officers were extorting. I saw accidents and all of that. And you know, he was fuming real bad. And I was like, Gideon, we need to do something. I know you've always talked about this. And that was how I said, okay, calm down, we'll do something. And that was when we started mobilizing. And I think that was around 2015. Before then, I've been participating in student movements, you know what they call student leadership, student unions. I've done a bit of that. I've always been doing that from around 2018. I gained admission for the university for my first degree around 2017, but we resumed, I think, January 2018. And since then, I've been active, you know, been part of marches and all of that. And there are some activities that I'm not so proud to say I've been part of because, you know, I find it hard to differentiate, to delineate whether it was on the violent or non-violent side of the activism spectrum. You know, as a student, but we were just young people who were passionate, who wanted to see change. And so we just took action, not necessarily based on principles. So we used to do that, but later on we started getting clarity, and then we are where we are now. So after volunteering, we launched the movement in 2017, right? 2017, May 25. And I love the way the whole thing was done, you know. Even from the naming of the movement, Africans Rising. Africans are rising. It just felt powerful for me, and I felt, yes, this is it. So, and then again, you realize that we launched it on the 25th of May, which was the day that the Organization of African Unity was formed in 1963, right?
Yeah.
And that was strategic too. And you know, that sort of told me, or that made me feel that, okay, we have been strategic here, and this is the way to go. And it just made me feel that, yes, the leadership of the movement, the history of the movement made it well positioned to be able to influence change on the continent and beyond. And then again, at the university where we launched the movement, then there were foreign students from Liberia. They shouldn't be foreign students, but as it is right now, they are still foreign students. You know, even though it's an anomaly for an African to be a foreign student in Africa. So they are called foreign students from Liberia, from Togo, from different parts of the continent. And I realized that when my friends and I, when we go to them and informed them about the Africans Rising movement and the need for them to join us in mobilizing, they were happy to join. And I realized that kind of strengthened our ability, you know. I mean that it made me realize that organizing under a Pan-African platform it increases our strength.
Yeah.
So then we started imagining somebody in Kenya doing something under Africans Rising, somebody in Liberia doing something under Africans Rising, and that was what was stated in the Kilimanjaro Declaration, calling on all people to come and organize campaigns under this umbrella. So I was imagining, and then I imagine, you just click on the Africans Rising hashtag, and then you will see thousands of people already doing something. So it increases our strength. And I think one of the problems that we identified with the initial effort that we have been making is the fragmentation of our efforts. Almost everybody wants to lead something. So we weren't really pulling together. So one of the things that we felt that we needed to do was to galvanize, to bring our efforts together. And I saw Africans Rising helping to do that. My sisters and brothers with whom I mobilized them to also saw it. And so we came together. We had a team of about 10 of us who became the call team, the local call team in Ife then, and then we mobilized, put our own resources together. I had a little scholarship then, so I was able to raise, it was just our own money, little, and then we produced jerseys, we produced banners. We're just passionate about it, and we did it, and it was great. And then 2018 too, like that, 2017, after the launch, we initiated the consultative process for a campaign because we felt that what a movement should do is to organize campaigns, right? So, and from our own understanding of nonviolent movement or campaigning, it has to follow a process. And I think the first thing was consultation. So we started asking, what do we do now? What do we do now? So that was the fundamental, that was essentially the question that we're asking. Met people, organized a gathering, convening for that purpose. Yeah. And then that led us to what we call the Vote Right Nigeria campaign, which we started then. We launched the next stage in 2018 during the 1 year anniversary of the African Rising Movement. We launched the next stage of the campaign then too. But later on, for certain issues, constraints, certain concrete constraints, we had to put the campaign on hold. Sorry about that. We had to put the campaign on hold momentarily, but I still believe that the campaign has the potential to help resolve the political crisis that we have in Nigeria, and I'm still hoping that as soon as we can get rid of the constraints before us, we'll move forward with it. So it was in 2019, right? Yeah. That we became city members. You guys were there before me. I'm sorry, my memory, I don't know. You guys were there before me, right? Yeah. It was, after the election, I think I was 11 or so. And you guys were 9 that went for the first meeting in Arusha. Yeah. If I'm not right, just tell me, please, because my memory, I'm struggling to remember. So you guys went for the meeting. It was at the meeting that you now decided to co-opt the next 2 individuals who contested. Yeah. I think I was 11. Sefala was 10. So that was how I became a member of the board. So for me, it was a very big privilege. Because contesting was just it wasn't like I didn't expect it. I didn't expect to be part of the board. I didn't even put much of. I didn't campaign at all. In all honesty, so I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting. So it was a sort of surprise, and it was a sort of privilege for me. And then I like I once told you, I later felt like an army recruit in the strategy room of the army. That was how I felt. And so for me, it was essentially a learning moment. I mean, the 2 years, it was essentially a learning time for me, even though, of course, we're able to contribute in some way to help to guiding the leadership of the movement, to sailing the ship of the movement. But it was essentially a learning time for me. And I am also particularly grateful, or I appreciate the fact that it was through the movement, through the coordinating collective, that I was able to meet you, meet Mama Marcia. I call Marcia Thomas Mama Marcia. And, I do say that we grew up listening to the song We Are the World.
Yeah.
And it was surprising serving on the board with the director of the organization, USA for Africa, that produced the song. It was just a big privilege. And this is a song that I so much love and I still sing. And then, meeting Mama Marcia, Charles, Ojo Van Dyke, Abigail, Stephen, Catherine, yeah. I'm trying to remember everybody. I mean, wonderful people, wonderful people. It was a very big privilege. And I see Africans Rising helping to forge this strong network of organizers, of activists across the continent. And I think that's crucial for us to move forward right now. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a real privilege, and it's something that I am still very grateful for. What else? I'm not sure that there's anything else that I want to say about it. I can talk a whole day on my experience with the CC,
Yeah.
But let's just stop there for now.
Yeah. So I think we share the same experience, because for me, I came to be aware of African Rising around December in 2017, where I was also maybe working in the community development organizations, and then I was also applying for these online e-sales and competitions. So I came through a competition called anti-corruption competition. So I applied to that competition, and then it was organized by African Rising. So unfortunately, I was not selected. But after that, I had some interest about what is this African Rising, why are they fighting corruption, how can we be part of it, to get the point. So from there, I just sign up. I read the Kilimanjaro Declaration, and then I sign up. From there, at the end of around maybe 2018, there I was nominated to vie for the CC members, and I contested and I win. So after winning that election, I think it was a learning experience for me, because at that time I was also in high school, in a university. I was doing my undergraduate. So throughout that session of the serving as the CC member, I think me, you, and some of the like Cedia were the youngest young people within the board, and I think for me, I can say that I learned a lot. I got some connection from the people. I got some guidance from the people. Now I'm using those tools to also to improve on myself in the issue of leadership and governance. So I think we came from far. That's why we met in Addis. In Addis, we had a conversation with you, Patricia. We had to exchange ideas on how we can go. Maybe we can expand African Rising to the grassroots level through mobilization. I know we also engage in the African Liberation Day that's happened in May, and that is the way forward for the movement. For me, that's the reflection that I have for the movement. So basically, we want to see the reflection of what is happening in the COVID situation in Nigeria, because here in Kenya, I will say that the numbers are going high because we have the issue of politicians doing their campaigns. They also attract masses. The rate of infection also increases. Death is also on the rise. And then also the issue of vaccine, access to vaccine. Some people, maybe they have the misconception about the vaccine. Maybe the vaccines are not enough. So that's the problem that we're also experiencing. And then the issue of police brutality, because we have some measures to curb the spread of the disease. So we find that you're not maybe to be found outside by 10 p.m. So if you're found outside by then, some people, maybe police sometimes kills them, arrest them, exhaust them with maybe you have to pay something to be released. Those are the things that are happening. Some of the injustices that are happening within the sphere.